Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Jerry Sinz Show. I'm your host, Jason Zaleski, here at the Buccaneer in Roselleville. Again, all-you-can-eat specials on Wednesday and Thursday nights, Friday night fish fry, Saturday prime rib, salad bar to die for. And thankfully, me and Coach both hit the salad bar, so we're still here kicking around. But come on down to the Buccaneer and have a great time. Get something to eat. Just a beautiful atmosphere here at the Buccaneer. All right, Coach. Abbotsford last week. Final score, I had that pulled up there, 30-16. Kind of an interesting game for me in watching back the highlights of your game. You went back and forth. You scored, they scored. You scored, they scored. Tell us about that first quarter a little bit and what it was like to deal with their big offensive line.
Yeah, it was an interesting game in that regard because it was 30-16 at halftime. I laughed at the coaches. I said, shoot, we could have a 50-35 game or something here. We've never had one of those before. And they were just about impossible for us to stop in the first half because they just kept running that wedge right up the middle with 3 or 4 huge guys of 300-pound guys forming a V, and their little up back running right behind them. And we were scoring pretty much every time we had the ball. I don't think we punted until midway through the third quarter or whatever, maybe even early in the fourth quarter. The scoring just went back and forth, and they might have gotten a little tired at halftime. I don't know. They came out the third quarter and were moving the ball well too, but then we stopped them. We also broke a 66-yard touchdown that we got called back by a penalty. And we only had 3 penalties, but one of them happened to be on that play. So of course, had we got that one, well, then we could have kind of put it away if it had got to 37-16, because with them running the ball all the time, it takes them a long time to manufacture a touchdown that way. But it was a good game, and it was a hard-fought game, and they were pretty well rested because they had only played one game in the past 3 weeks.
Right.
And but we were happy to get out of there, with the win and stay relatively healthy and finish the conference season with just one loss, the one at Colby.
All right. Yeah. You told me last week the guys were big. You had seen them on film. I hadn't yet. So when I looked at the footage that was brought back to the studio that night, I said, wow. Those were some big dudes. I just nodded in agreement with Coach last week. But I know he knows what he's talking about, but there's definitely some big size there. So 55 runs, you tackled well, and again, that's something that you've had as a strength for a while. And again, this year's team, just tell us about that. What it takes to be a good tackling team again here in 2021.
Yeah, we've been working on it a lot, of course. Many teams' strategies over years now against us have been to just run the ball and try to keep the ball away from us so that we don't have an opportunity to score much, or we don't get it much, or we don't have many possessions. Because that's kind of been, the way that some teams have beaten us, even in like state championship games. We never get the ball. And so this year, with a whole new defensive line, teams have been a little more successful at doing that, at keeping it away from us. I mean, Hurley did it and Colby did it. And of course now is Abby using the same strategy. But we decided to come out and pass the ball more early. And I think we started the game 4 for 4, whatever, passing. I think I mentioned that to you last week. Now we're going to pass more and try to get some points and get ahead of them and see if we can make their strategy backfire on them. And we did get 30 points at halftime, which was big. But it's something that obviously it's kind of a cat and mouse game that teams working back and forth. But our secondary guys have become good tacklers because they've had to make a lot of tackles. Our defensive backs, pretty much all seniors, and they've made a lot of tackles.
Madison Butt coming back after missing last week. He 5 for 8, 100 yards, had a touchdown, a nice touchdown too, I thought. A nice jumping catch at the end of that one. What was Madison's attitude in practice this past week, and getting back on the football field?
I think he was really happy to be back. He really missed it, I think. I don't think he really thought he'd miss it that much until he had to sit out a week, and then I think he really missed it. So I think he was really happy to be back, and and he seemed to be quite a bit more positive and smiley, which was good to see. Of course, completing the passes helps also.
Yeah.
But he played a very good game on defense too. He came up and made a lot of tackles, so he certainly helped us a lot.
Yeah, he certainly did. As I look through the scoring here, Hayden Weisenberger, 5-yard touchdown run. Then Shunk for Abbotsford comes back. He's got a 36-yard touchdown run, one that he kind of busted through and kind of snuck around a little bit. Kind of reminded me of maybe one or two of those Hurley plays. Perhaps they were looking at that film. And then you got the Schuett touchdown from Butt. And then that was the end of the first quarter. Second quarter, they get a 1-yard run from Faltasek. Pretty sizable running back. Not a really small guy, I wouldn't say that. And then you had the Ever Brame touchdown. He goes for 52 yards. Now, I mean, it's a heavyweight fight. We're just trading blows here back and forth. And then you get the 11-yard run from Carter Butt on, I thought it was a really nice drive. I think it came off of a turnover as well, if I remember right. And then no scoring. So tell us about the second half a little bit. You go to the halftime 30-16. What was the idea there? Let's just play defense and, get out of here with the win.
Well, yeah, we thought we probably had to score at least one more time in the second half, and we knew we had to kick off to them because they kicked off to start the game. And fortunately, we were able to keep them from scoring, even though they drove it down pretty well and kept the ball for quite a while, but we stopped them. And then we got out of there and got field position back pretty soon by the time we got the ball back the second time. Now we're into the fourth quarter already. Mm-hmm. And so, after our touchdown was called back, then it became, all right, let's see how long we can keep the ball and keep it away from them. And if they want to keep running, they may run out of time because they need 2 scores, kind of a situation. Right. So that's kind of the way the fourth quarter went.
All right, again, here at the Jerry Sinz Show at the Buccaneer in Rosellville. This will be our last planned show. We're going to let Coach focus on the playoffs after this week. But before we get to the playoffs, you've got an opening on your schedule. So let's back up a little bit here. In your conference in July, you had 3 teams say, we just don't have the numbers, so we're going to go to 8-player football. You had Thorpe, Owenwithy, and Athens. So you had 3 holes in your schedule to fill. You filled 2 of them, and this week was the Thorpe week, and we're still looking for a game. So you'd like to have a senior night. We certainly want to have a game. Is it possible to have a senior night and still play on the road, or is this a home game only scenario?
No, we offered that option to a team or two. Mm-hmm. That because one of the teams that was looking for a game wants a homecoming at their facility.
All right.
And so we said, okay, we will come there and we will just introduce our seniors instead of a starting lineup. And of course the parents are usually there and they kind of meet them, so we ask if the parents could maybe be by the field or whatever. Mm-hmm. But we haven't been able to get anybody to agree to play us yet, so we're still working on it. We have a day and a half left, I guess, and certainly we need somebody by noon on Friday.
Yeah.
So tomorrow's a big day. We're hoping to find somebody tomorrow.
We've seen this, of course we saw it more last year, but we've still seen remnants of it this year. We've seen a number of teams looking for a game, and all of a sudden my phone will ring at 1 or 2 o'clock. Hey, we found a game. We're going. So on that Friday, so there's still hope. Stratford last week was in that scenario where they were looking for a game. It was their homecoming. They were looking for a game. Had a couple options to travel, but for homecoming, that's a strange deal to travel for your homecoming game. And then around 1:30, 2 o'clock on Friday, they say our search is off. So, I guess we'll let you kind of talk to the audience here a little bit. Plead your case and invite a team to come and play on Friday.
Yeah, well, like I said, we at this stage, being this late, we're willing to travel too if we have to, just to try to get a game, because I really don't care to take the 9th week of the season off right before the playoffs. I think you kind of lose your edge. You're back about 6-7 years ago. We were supposed to have, I believe it was Neilsville Granton on our 9th game, and they canceled on us. And then our first playoff game, I didn't think we played very well. I didn't think we were very sharp. So we would just as soon have a game, and we're willing to go somewhere, or hopefully, best case scenario, we'd like to get somebody to come for senior night.
Yeah, all right. Well, hey, listen up out there. Come and play in Edgar. We'll even come and broadcast the game, give you kids some extra attention on the broadcast. So come on, play. Let's have some football. Let's play a game. All right, Coach, we'll end with this. We looked at, these are our projections. These are just projections. People at home are seeing this on the screen right now. if the state is divided into 4 equal quadrants, which doesn't always happen. As you remember, you played Stratford in a state championship game once upon a time, so that wasn't divided in 4 quadrants like this. But if it were to be, this is a pretty interesting scenario here where you've seen Hurley, some of these other teams are somewhat local, but what we're looking at here is a 10-0 Coleman. We're looking at Reedsville and Hilbert both at 7-1. Assumption's got a winning record, and Loyal in there too, and there you are with the 4 seed. Something like that comes to fruition. You're on the road that second week, but I don't know. We don't know how it's all going to break down the first time with computer seating, and then then people will step in and decide where everybody's got to go to try to balance it out. But we don't always want teams traveling past each other to get to their game. So, interesting scenario here, I think.
Yeah, I saw one earlier that looked similar to that, but then I saw a correction to it because one of the WI's prime, apparently, requirements is they will not put over 2 undefeated conference champions in the same bracket. I believe Coleman, Pacelli, and Hurley are all undefeated conference champs. So I think one of those 3 is going to have to go to a different one. The latest one I saw, Coleman was not in there.
Okay.
But Hurley was the only team that was way north. The latest one that I've seen, Hurley is way north. We're the next farthest north team, and everybody else is south of us. So Hurley, of course, they don't care that much because they're the 1 seed, so they won't have to travel.
Right.
So it doesn't make any difference to them. But
well, the way it is, no matter how you break these down, and if you do want to have that kind of competitive balance, it's going to make for some long road trips in the playoffs. So you've said before, though, that you don't mind playing on the road anytime.
No, we really don't. I don't think it makes a whole lot of difference, to tell you the truth. No.
All right, good. Well, we'll leave the playoff speculation for after Friday night. Of course, seeds come out on Saturday at 2 o'clock. Coach Sinz going to come on our seed reveal show. We'll contact you. We'll give you a call, and we'll get Coach's thoughts on whoever that first round game is going to be a week and a half from now. But first things first, somebody come up here and play these Wildcats. Let's have a good time on Friday night. So, all right, Coach, we'll end it there. And again, we're going to take a break for the playoffs unless something unusual comes up. So good luck, Coach, the rest of the way.
Thank you very much.
All right, that'll do it for the Jerry Sinz Show again, guys. We've got football on Friday night. Hopefully a game in Edgar, the whole schedule, our broadcast schedule at ZaleskySports.com. Thanks for watching.